I'm Moira Neal and I'd like to talk to you about the back of this quilt that's behind me. This is a quilt called Batik Beauties. It was made for a challenge using batik fabrics, but I really love to use old cotton sheets in my work. Here the wall is made with old cotton sheets that I've dyed grey, and here Baba Black Sheeps. He's holding 3 bags of wool, but they're made with rusted fabric. But the biggest thing I want to talk to you about is the backing, which is a whole cotton sheet, and it's actually spaghetti printed. And that's what I want to share with you today, the fun of spaghetti printing. Well, I feel like a naughty school kid because actually, normally I say to people, when you're cooking spaghetti bolognese or whatever, do a bit of extra. But today I've actually got 50 grams of spaghetti, and I'm cooking it up specially to demonstrate this technique to you, and also to make some fabric for my stash. Well, I've cooked the spaghetti up and it's cool, and I've put it in a plastic bag. And before I begin, I'm just going to show you a few things to get together before you start. You're going to need some polythene bags, and the number will depend on how many different colours of paints you want to use. It's a good idea to have some plastic rubber gloves to wear, and also the old baby wipes, fantastic because this is a very messy technique. So an overall or an apron, and if you're going to be working on fabric, you either want to be using fabric paint or acrylic paint. So this is just ordinary acrylic paint. This is golden acrylic paint. They work fine. If you've got fabric paints, use them. But if you're going to do this with children, you can get these fabulous poster paints, and that's absolutely perfect. Great for use on paper and cardboard. And the advantage of this game is that if you're having spaghetti bolognese for dinner and using the leftover spaghetti, you will also have the tube that the tomato puree came in, and that can be used in your work as well. So keep those to one side for use for the future, because you can flatten them out and add lovely golden details to your work. So next I'm going to show you how to go about doing the spaghetti printing. I'm just going to get myself togged up first. Okay, I hope you can see clearly. First I'm going to take some of this spaghetti and pop it into a plastic bag. I'm going to do some black and some brown, so that'll do to begin with. And then I'm going to squeeze in some of this acrylic paint. Okay, oh, this is such fun, I love it. Your kids will really enjoy doing this as well. This is really like play school for grown-ups, and already I've got brown on my hands, so the baby wipes are coming in jolly handy. I've already ironed some fabric as well, by the way, to use, because you really want to make sure it's nice and smooth before you start. So I'm giving this a good coating of the paint. And it's difficult to know how much colour to put on actually, but you'll soon know if it starts to run out, you can just add more to the bag. So there it is, nicely coated in brown. We'll just start on this small bit of fabric, and I am going to put the rubber gloves on. Well, one rubber glove I think might be a plan. And then I'm just going to get some of the spaghetti from the bag and just literally just jollop it on like that. Just keep moving it around. Isn't that lovely? And you get this fabulous texture all over. I realise I'm not actually showing you that very clearly. If I move it a bit nearer me, that's better. Just make sure I don't get it down myself. So keep turning it and flopping it onto the fabric. And this is absolutely perfect for animal fur and all sorts of things. This is the danger is trying to pick it up without smudging it too much. Anyway, I'm sure I shall manage. Right, okay, I've managed to squeeze some black acrylic paint into here. The other thing you could probably do is to hold the bag upside down and try and contain the spaghetti within it. You can see I'm getting trouble some of it's dropping off here. I'm just hoping I don't drop it on my carpet, but Tony's out of the house at the moment, so if I do have a disaster, hopefully I can get it all cleaned up before I get found out. Isn't that scrumptious? It would make the most wonderful dog fur or hair or And you can overprint it, obviously. You can applique onto it. It's lovely. Really, really good fun to do. And this is permanent because it's acrylic paints, and you know how difficult it is to get acrylic off clothes. It'll be absolutely ideal for washing. You can always test some if you do try this technique and you want it for something that's going to be washed. But if you're really worried, obviously use fabric paint that's designed for the purpose. And just fill in all the gaps. Okay, like that. Perfect. Right, and next I'm going to have a go at something for children. Okay, so here's something the children might really enjoy. On here I've sprayed some temporary glue, but you could just use masking tape or something to hold a piece of card onto an A4 sheet of paper. And I'm just doing that in order to mask off the outer edge. I've just realised I haven't got a glove here, so I'm going to just stop. Okay, you don't really need gloves for this because I'm actually using one of these children's poster paints, but I just prefer not to get messy. So what I'm doing is I've got cooked spaghetti in here, and I'm just going to put a squeeze of this luscious pink poster paint in the bag and squish it around, and this will keep kids really well amused. They'll love it, especially if you do several different colours for them. But I thought I would just show this quick idea to make a picture frame that you could cut out different animal shapes, and you could do it the other way around. You could cut a shape out of the centre so that you just stamped with the spaghetti into the centre, but this way I'm going to stamp around the outside edge. So what you could do, you could actually try and hold it in the bag like this, which might be a better idea. I'll try that first. Or you can actually just hold it with your hand. That's working quite well actually, and I'm just going to jollop the spaghetti all the way around the edge. Some of it breaks off and comes out, but hey, never mind, we won't worry too much. Right, that worked quite well. I'm just going to lift this one up, and then the only thing you need to do next is, I'm going to take my gloves off for this, is take this mask off. Okay, which is stuck rather more than I'd hoped. There we go. And then you've got a lovely sort of picture frame area, and then they can work into here with felt tip pens and so on. So you could do lots of these and have a lot of fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. See you later. So earlier I talked about making a mask, which I've already done. I'm just going to demonstrate again using this piece of card that I put temporary spray glue on the back of. Now here there's a thread. I just need to remove that, because if you don't remove threads from the front of the fabric, it will mask. So in here I've got some lovely spaghetti that's just been printed, that's been coloured up with poster paint this time, and this time I'm actually going to paint direct from the bag, so it does seem to work quite well doing it that way. So this is just to show you how you can use a mask. Obviously if you're doing it with fabric for yourself and it wants to be permanent, then use acrylic paints or fabric paints. But I just want to show you the principle of this. Whoops, losing spaghetti everywhere. Oh, this is fun. It's play school for grown-ups. I love it. I don't think we had play school, you know, when I was a little girl. And if they did, I don't think I went. So I'm making up for lost time now. Right, just shake those bits off there. And then all I need to do is to take my gloves off and remove this central section. And you can see that would be jolly useful for your quilt making. In fact, you can make lovely labels for the backs of your quilts and then just sort of put your name and date and everything in here. Anyway, have a go at it and have fun. And now I've finished filming, I'm just going to have a bit of fun with all this leftover spaghetti. I'm just going to flip it onto this piece of fabric here, the brown and the black, and just sort of have a bit of fun. And I thought you might like to share the fun with me. I don't know what's going to happen, but it seems such a shame to waste all this lovely paint that's on the spaghetti. And I thought this way I'm going to get a nice interesting fabric one way or the other, and I think it's rather successful. Well, that was quite a good little postscript, wasn't it? Right, I'll just hold it up. There we go. So that's my clean-up cloth, which I'm very, very, very pleased with. In fact, that's probably more useful than anything I've made earlier. See you later.